Dear students, welcome to the online class. Today we are going to take up the first prose lesson in your prescribed syllabus. The first lesson for you is Shyness My Shield, written by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Now, let us have a brief note about the author. No doubt, there is no need for me to explain you who is Mahatma Gandhi, but this lesson is taken from one of his books called as My Experiments with Truth. In this essay, Mahatma Gandhi reveals that he was very much shy to speak in front of large gathering. So he says whenever he tried to speak in front of a crowd, he was in panic. He could not speak. That is what he says. This essay reveals a deeply human side of Gandhi, narrating his fear of public speaking and his attempts to overcome his chronic shyness. In this essay, he says that his fear to speak in front of a large group of people is his weakness, which also became a strong strength for him in the later part of his life. Let us now go into the lesson. It starts something like this. I was elected to the executive committee of the Vegetarian Society and made it a point to attend every one of its meetings, but I always felt tongue-tied. Dr. Woolfield once said to me, "You talk to me quite all right, but why is it that you never open your lips at a committee meeting? You are a drone." I appreciated the banter. The bees are very busy. The drone is a thorough idler. And it was not a little curious that whilst others expressed their opinions at these meetings, I sat quite silent. Not that I never felt tempted to speak, but I was at a loss to know how to express myself. All the rest of the members appeared to me to be better informed than I. Then it often happened that just when I had mustered up courage to speak, a fresh subject would be started, and this went on for a long time. I have given the meanings on the other side. When I am explaining you the lesson online, I'll be talking to you about all these things. Meantime, a serious question came up for discussion. I thought it wrong to be absent and felt it cowardice to register a silent vote. The discussion across somewhat in this wise. The president of the society was Mr. Hills, proprietor of the Thames Iron Works. He was a Puritan. It may be said that the existence of the society depended practically on his financial assistance. Many members of the committee were more or less his proteges. Dr. Allison of vegetarian fame was also a member of the committee. He was an advocate of the then new birth control movement and preached its methods among the working class. Mr. Hills regarded these methods as cutting at the roots of morals. He thought that the Vegetarian Society had, for its objects, not only dietetic but also moral reforms, and that a man of Dr. Allison's anti-Puritanic views should not be allowed to remain in the society. A motion was therefore brought for this for his removal. The question deeply interested me. I considered Dr. Allinson's views regarding artificial method of birth control as dangerous, and I believed that Mr. Hills was entitled as a Puritan to oppose him. I had a high regard for Mr. Hills and his generosity, but I thought it was quite improper to exclude a man from a vegetarian society simply because he refused to regard Puritan morals as one of the objects of the society. Mr. Hill's view regarding the exclusion of anti-Puritans from the society was personal to himself, and it had nothing to do with the declared object of the society, which was simply the promotion of vegetarianism and not of any system of morality. I, therefore, held that any vegetarian could be a member of the society irrespective of his views on other morals. There were in the committee others also who shared my view, but I felt myself personally called upon to express my own. How to do it was the question. I had not the courage to speak, and therefore I decided to set down my thoughts in writing. I went to the meeting with the document in my pocket. So far I recollect, I did not find myself equal even to reading it, and the president had it read by someone else. Dr. Allinson lost the day. Thus, in the very first battle of the kind, I found myself siding with the losing party. But I had comfort in the thought that the cause was right. I have a faint recollection that after this incident, I resigned from the committee.